Alright, today I'm going to be talking about the secret boss of entrepreneurs. So, what happens is you do entrepreneurship because you want to do your own thing and you want to become your own boss. Um, that's sort of why people do entrepreneurship, because they don't want to work in a 9 to 5 under some sort of manager. They want to be able to work for themselves. But little do they know that as they become successful, there's this secret boss that everyone is working for and every entrepreneur is blinded by. And that boss is consumers. When people become successful, they buy cars, they buy Gucci, they buy a lot of accessories, they buy Louis Vuitton clothing, and they travel, they get private jets, they go on business class. They basically start living this expensive lifestyle, and once you live that lifestyle and you show it off on social media, now you're forced to maintain that lifestyle. And you're forced to continually feed this secret boss. For example, one of the secret bosses of entrepreneurs is business class. People make a lot of money and they spend 3 to 4x the price of an economy seat just to sit in a bigger and more comfy chair, and that's the boss they're feeding. Now they're paying an extra 1 to 2 grand, maybe even 3 grand every single, say, 6 months, every time they travel, and that's something that they have to continually pay. And that's what they're working for. They work and earn money so they can pay the secret boss called business class. Now imagine if you add that up with Gucci, Louis Vuitton, cars. Cars are so expensive. Imagine you add all those things up. This secret boss could be making you work so hard, and you have to pay that boss 100 grand every single year just so that you can sort of keep up this social status that you locked yourself in, as well as it's a subscription. Like, this boss is going to feed at you for the rest of your life, because you can't just go from living in mansions, driving in supercars, to driving a Corolla or a Honda Civic. Like, that's just impossible. So that's why this secret boss is so powerful, and I think a lot of people are unaware of this secret boss, and that's why I want to film this video. You don't want to get trapped into that, because not only is it expensive, but it's more expensive than you think. So when you buy a car, let's say you buy a car for 100 grand, that 100 grand has to come out of your personal expenses. So when you pay yourself from your company and move that money into personal expenses, you're paying 50 grand, 50%, 40 to 50% in tax. So in order to pay for a 100 grand car, you have to withdraw 150 grand in cash from your business to pay for that car. Now the moment you buy that car and you drive it out, it goes from being worth 100 grand, straight away goes down to like 70 grand. It depreciates the moment it leaves the dealership. So basically now you're paying 150 grand for an asset that's only worth 70 grand, and it depreciates more every year. Now on top of that, the insurance for that thing is expensive. The registrations, everything is expensive, and let's say you add another 5 grand per year to just drive that vehicle. That's your new boss. Now on top of that, this boss of yours, which is your car, you are struggling to pay it off, and you don't even get to use it, because as an entrepreneur you're just too busy working and you don't even have time to use this thing that you bought. So usually if you spend 5x amount on a car, let's say instead of buying a Honda Civic, you buy a crazy, Ferrari, G-Wagon, Lamborghini, you're not going to use it 10x the amount of times that you would have used a simple car. You would actually use it even less. Like, as an entrepreneur, you don't even get to drive your car as much because you just work at home. So you actually don't even get to use that thing, and like as a result, like you're just even making more of a loss. Now on top of that, there's just so much stress. Like, if all I mentioned to you just then wasn't enough of a stress, imagine driving that thing around. You have to worry about parking it in places where it won't get scratched. You're worried if it's going to get scratched. You're always looking at it when you're sort of at a restaurant, and you're just always worried and stressed. That stress costs a lot. Like, being able to be stress-free I would pay thousands and thousands of dollars to be stress-free, and you lose that. So you're losing another 10 grand a year just on opportunity cost and stress. So that's just one thing. Imagine like clothing, Gucci, the amount of how much that depreciates. Like, consumerism is a beast, and it's unknown. Sorry for the annoying noise. There's some guys just hitting some drums. But yeah, it's expensive, and no one knows about this boss. Alright, so those drummers have respectfully walked away, so fuck, it's still loud. Okay, I'm going away. Alright, so as I was saying, that's the secret boss of entrepreneurship. A boss that you don't even know is a boss. Someone that you're working for that you don't even know you're working for. That's how deadly consumerism is, and it's all because you're fed this lie in society that when you become successful, you need to buy all these things, get the nice big house, get the nice fancy cars, get that big Rolex. We're being fed just like how you've been fed, just like not you, but like other people have been fed that 9 to 5 is a route. You go to high school, then you go to university, you get a job and you work 9 to 5. That's a lie you've been fed. And ironically, you realize that's a lie, so you're like, fuck 9 to 5, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then you follow the lie of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship itself has some lies and facades to it, and one of those facades is buying a shit ton of things when you become successful. And yeah, I'm very happy that I have not fallen into that. I don't want to fall into that. I'm gonna give. I don't think, like, I'm pretty self-aware, and I know what I like, and I definitely went through that phase already. So it's over and done with. That phase is sorta ish over and done with, and now I'm just gonna focus on really reinvesting everything into my business and just growing a monster and a beast. So yeah, that's today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is definitely something different, something not much entrepreneurs talk about. Like, this is just the real shit that I want to pass on, because this has helped me immensely, and I know for a fact that if I was up and coming, actually I am up and coming, and I was able to learn those things, and these things have saved me a ton. Like, it probably could have saved me much more, but I just want to give this out so that everyone else can not fall into the same mistakes. But yeah, that's today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Hopefully you're able to get some value from this. I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're on YouTube, and I'll see you guys next week, or maybe in a few days if you're listening to this on my podcast. Peace.